Apollo 11, 15 July 1969, Cape Kennedy, Florida. The night before the great day.
We're going to the moon together. Pack your bags and jump into the car. Gonna take a trip to tell you where you are. Goodbye, mother. So long, mother. So long, mother. Goodbye, goodbye, mother. So long, mother. So long, mother. So long, mother. Goodbye, mother. Goodbye, mother.
6 million pounds of machine, 36 stories tall. Nearly 10 years' work of 500,000 people. Through the night, it was checklisted, double-checked, electronically monitored, computerized, televised, dehumanized of human error. While the night of celebration was ending, the day began for the astronauts. Breakfast, medical examination, suiting up. Neil Armstrong, Commander Apollo 11. Edwin Buzz Aldrin, Lunar Module Pilot. Michael Collins, Command Module Pilot.
Astronaut Dick Slater quitté la salle de préparation pour annoncer który właśnie wyszedł z pomieszczeń, gdzie ubierają się piloci przed La tripulación subirá a la camioneta que
to take them to pad 39A. Slater said everything is going.
Far across the Indian River, 12 miles away, the rocket. At 6:32 a.m., 3 hours before launch, on pad 39A, Armstrong and Aldrin walked on the surface of the Earth. Their next steps would be on the moon. Spectators rolled in by the thousands. Campers, trailers, cars, and pickups filled the campsites and the beaches, lined the highways, lined the parkways, nose to tailgate, Cape Canaveral to Titusville.
Satisfactory for launch this morning. A thin cloud cover about 15,000 feet. Temperature at launch time expected to be about 85 degrees. T-minus 1 hour, 29 minutes, 30 seconds, and counting. This is Kennedy.
Propellant load pressure and temperature. Digital transmission worldwide tracking. Stabilization and guidance, radio frequency telemetry and voice communications, signal conditioner integration, spacecraft electrical power, flight control, S4B propulsion stage monitoring, S1C, S2 propulsion stage. Every important valve, gauge, and circuit was continually monitored at Launch Control Center throughout the 28-hour countdown.
Countdown still going well. T-minus 55 minutes, 10 seconds and counting. This is Kennedy.
Among the 6,000 special guests were a vice president, an ex-president, 2 plane loads of the diplomatic corps from Washington, 205 U.S. congressmen, 19 governors, 30 senators, 50 mayors from cities across the country, movie celebrities and television personalities, and another 2 plane loads of dignitaries from Europe.
This is Apollo Saturn Launch Control. We passed the 6-minute mark in our countdown for Apollo 11, the flight to land of the first men on the moon. We're on time at the present time for our planned liftoff of 32 minutes past the hour. Coming up shortly, that swing arm up at the spacecraft level will come back to its fully retracted position. This should occur at the 5-minute mark in the count. The swing arm now coming back as our countdown continues. Skip Chauvin informing the astronauts that the swing arm now coming back. 4 minutes and counting. We are go for Apollo 11. We'll be coming up in the automatic sequence about 10 or 15 seconds from this time. The vehicle starting to pressurize as far as the propellant tanks are concerned, and all is still go as we monitor our status for it. Firing command coming in now. We're on an automatic sequence as the master computer supervises hundreds of events occurring over these last few minutes. 2 minutes, 10 seconds, and counting. Oxidizer tanks in the second and third stages now have pressurized. T-minus 1 minute, 35 seconds. The third stage completely pressurized. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We passed T-minus 60. 55 seconds and counting. Neil Armstrong reported back when he received the good wishes. Thank you very much. We know it will be a good flight. Good luck and Godspeed. 40 seconds away from the Apollo 11 liftoff. All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6.
for mode 1 Charlie. Mark, mode 1 Charlie. 1 Charlie. This is Houston, you are go for staging. Board cutoff. Come in, board cutoff. We got skirt step. Roger, we confirm skirt step. Tower's gone. Roger, tower.
You're watching Sleepcore. Pleasant dreams.
Welcome to EventScope, a major project of Carnegie Mellon University's Studio for Creative Inquiry has for the past 2 years been developing a unique remote experience educational software curriculum targeted at middle school students. For the past year, 9 middle schools have been acting the part of NASA planetary scientists, studying such factors as craters, the effects of wind, surface appearance, and other geological features. With EventScope, students use real-world problem-solving skills to enhance their understanding of scientific inquiry within a virtual laboratory.
We're trying to create a window on a classroom computer which extends the experience of a student to a faraway place they could never go to otherwise. It allows people in lots of different places to get a very high quality education. So for example, some of the schools that use our tool are in rural areas. They might not have access to natural history museums or the types of teachers that you would have in a more centralized city, but by creating an intuitive interface which they can simply download to their computer or install from CD-ROM, but connects and networks to our lab and the expertise of scientists, we've suddenly given them access to something that they could never have.
A lot of effort is spent making the user experience of the EventScope software as seamless and smooth as possible. So we generate a lot of different ideas about what the software could look like, how it could work, how the user should interact with the software and control these complicated 3D environments, which it takes a lot of creativity to come up with an interaction system which is intuitive and straightforward. Not only can the user just look at a single data set, a single three-dimensional model, they can see the sequence of a mission and how it developed over time. Or they can, in the case of some curriculum that we've developed for students, they can develop their own mission based on the data sets available. So overall, the technology we have is a flexible framework for manipulating, sequencing, organizing data returned from remote robotic missions.
I think the fact that it's more hands-on and you get to work in a group, and I think it does help because the pictures are like in more true color than in the book. Some of them, a lot of times, it's like there's figures. I mean, there's pictures, but there's only a limited amount. And then on here, you can look at so many different things and click on what you want to see and something that you might not be able to see in a book. It still teaches you a lot, and at the same time, it's still fun to do because, I mean, even though you have to follow directions, you can still look at stuff on your own and get to pick out what you want to do.
It took them a while to get started, but once they got started, they stayed very engaged in it throughout the class period. They said the understanding how to do the measuring initially was a bit difficult, but after they got started, they stayed pretty engaged with it for the whole time.
The Eventscope actually made it real. It made it actually in front of you so you could see what it was. It would show you what it was really like without having just to read it out of a book. And it would tell you why you were wrong, not just that you were wrong.
I think Eventscope is pretty cool because I like science and to learn about like nature and like the Earth and the solar system. And it's like helped me a lot in science. And like January said, it's like helping your grade.
But with the Eventscope showing the sequence of the rock layers or the craters in the riverbed, I was amazed about how fast they picked up on that. Then we did the three-dimensional drawing, which would be like stratigraphy. And the first day they drew that I thought they did a great job drawing the 3D structure of the rock layers with the intrusions through the rock layers. You guys can back me up on this? It seemed like they picked up on it really fast.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The Eventscope thing helped because it was like, you would say, you'd click what you thought was right, and then it would tell you if you were wrong or right, and then it would tell you why. Like it would point something out, like this was overlapping that.
Some people think that there's streams and they form from water. Other people just think they were eroded. So I think there must have been water or something to make all the streams and stuff. So I think it is pretty similar in some ways.
I mean, we don't know if there's water on Mars. We just know that it's some kind of liquid that did it. But some people are saying it's water because how the river channels look and stuff.
I think Mars is very similar because it has a lot of the same gases that Earth has, but it just, if it had the right amount, it would also be a livable place like Earth is. And there are signs that there was water there and that there could be because of the polar ice cap.
Right now, information interaction involves information flowing to a user of this interface that has been developed here. What we want to allow now is for a user to learn things by controlling a robot and searching the real world in ways that haven't been possible before. And the technologies that we're going to use to do that involve linking this interface to communication systems on board real robots. So this idea of being able to transfer the will of many people onto a team of robots is particularly important for education, because traditionally a student is presented with information that has already been collected. But what we can do here is we can allow the students' curiosity to be transmitted to that team of robots, and for the students to learn entirely new things and gather entirely new information of the real world from real robots.
You're watching Sleepcore, media for insomnia.
tell me when to go, okay? Yeah, well, this one person. Are you going to pull up the yeah, you want to line up. Send Jimmy down here when you pull it up. Let them pull. Everybody ready? Yeah, go.
again?
17.1. The average is about 9.
Okay. We're going to do it one more time? Or? Get that man a wheelchair. Seven point what?
7.
Okay.
14.7 for the high. 9 for the average.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Next.
Yeah.
Doing configuration.
So we're not, okay, that's, now are we going to do spin the spool? Do you want to? No. Okay, so we don't need to bother with that. Nothing changed on the spool. Nothing changed. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started then. First is going to be, okay.
All flex lines?
Yeah, all flex lines. Align with the first strut. Okay, guys. We're going to pull the trays to the, and align them with the first strut. Buddy, Mike, do we have somebody that's going to turn the wind? Jimmy's on the phone. Okay, we're measuring force 1, Fy. Okay. This is trial, this is number 1. Okay. 27.7. Right. Okay. Trial number 2. Okay, now we want to index the carriage 1 bay and measure the force required, Fx1.